Hey everyone, I'm going to take a look at the new Player of the Week pack on eFootball. Got a few new things today. First, we've got this Guess the Winner campaign. This is quite cool. So it's just another one of these things where you place your vote, you've got to choose who's going to win out of Arsenal Man U, but you actually get a selection contract for a highlight card. I'll show you the pack in a moment. What do we also have today? We have a new player in the points store, shockingly. Of course, it's another partner club player, and it's Mkhitaryan from Inter. We've got loads of Inter stuff today. There's a new Inter event. We've got a new Inter pack as well. So Mkhitaryan's there. Obviously, there's nothing else in the point store. Why would they give us anything to spend our points on? That would be silly. And in packs, as I mentioned, we got the Inter pack and this kit for 100 coins. Obviously, there's no way they could possibly allow us to buy a kit like this with the eFootball points. That would be ridiculous. Make us pay 100 coins instead. That makes much more sense. Well done, Konami. Pathetic. Inter pack, as I mentioned. Of course, you've got 11 Inter players in there. Looks like it might be decent. I'm not had a proper look yet, but I will do a separate video reviewing it. Inzaghi is long ball counter. What else we got that's new today? I think it's just packs really, apart from that. Coin packs and so on. So yeah, let's have a quick look in there and then I'll review Player of the Week. So where are we going? Special players. Oh, I've got to use a 3-star contract soon. I mustn't forget, I don't want to miss out on a really useful 3-star player who I don't have any use for whatsoever. We've got new English and Spanish League packs, but interestingly, no Italian League pack. Don't know why there's no Italian League pack. That's quite annoying. I wonder if there's going to be one to follow. Player of the Week, of course. A couple of J League packs if you want to get some 3, 4, and 5-star J League cards for the J League Challenge, which most of us don't get to play anymore. What else is new? There's your partner club selection thing. So you do that vote, you vote who's going to win out of Man U and Arsenal. And you can pick one of these 6 cards, basically. It's nothing too amazing, but it's a pretty decent selection for a freebie, I think, picking one of them cards. So yeah, that's a cool thing. Hopefully that becomes a regular occurrence. Apart from that, yeah, nothing else new. So we're going to review Player of the Week. So as always, I'll put timestamps in the description for each player. So if you want to hear about a particular player, just click on the description and there'll be a link to take you straight to them. And we have all 5 stars. As always, we'll start lowest rated. And it is Hyun-Jun from Celtic, who does not have a face scan. I imagine he'll get one at some point. So he's got his usual position and everything. He's a prolific winger. He can play wide right, wide left, or he can play as a striker. It's the first time I've had a feature version of this guy. It's a weaker for accuracy. He's gone up by 1. And yeah, first time I've had a feature version of him. So just to go straight to a comparison to his GB card, they boosted his end product a bit. His physical strength is up a bit. His defending as well. Lost a little bit of speed, lost a little bit of balance, lost a little bit of stamina. So yeah, another one of these cards where 1 or 2 stats going down a bit, quite annoying. Boosting and attacking players, defending attributes, not really helpful, but obviously that artificially boosts his rating to make him look better than he is. Yeah, he's kind of looking all right on the whole. Looks more like a 4-star than a 5-star, but he is only 92 rated. That's just past the threshold for 5 stars. Not that star ratings mean anything on the game with that matchmaking filters. But yeah, he's got reasonable pace. He's reasonable on the ball. His lofted pass of finishing, all right. Low pass is horrible, so be careful with the passing. Has he got any passing skills? Yeah, he's got 1-touch passing, through passing. So what they added skill-wise? Heading, I think, is new. First-time shot. Through passing is a new one. And he's a super sub as well. So we've got a decent selection of skills in this guy. It's going to be another one of these cards where the question is, where is he going to be best? You know, where are you going to want to use this guy? He's got those passing skills, but they'll just slightly improve his low pass, which is terrible. He doesn't have pinpoint crossing, which is a shame. Lofted pass of 80 isn't too bad. Finishing 79. He's got a first-time shot, but there's no long-range curler. He's a right footer. So I think a lot of people look at this guy and question whether you could use him on the left without long-range curler. That's a bit of a shame, but I think he might still be best there. On the right-hand side, without pinpoint crossing, I'm not sure his crossing is going to be that great. And I don't think on the whole he'd be that appealing to people looking for a right-footed right winger putting crosses in. Wide left, even without long-range curler, that might be the best place to use him. Bit of pace, reasonable on the ball, not great though. And the finishing will go past 8 with the game plan boost. He's got first-time shot. So yeah, off the left wing, not an amazing left winger, inverted winger, but that could be the best way to use this guy. Centre forward, the awareness is terrible. Finishing's not good enough, so I wouldn't be using this guy as a striker. So for Celtic fans, no doubt this would be a fun card to pick up for your Celtic squad. But outside of that, there's no Scottish League challenge. Maybe if you rock a South Korea squad, I guess. But yeah, it's not a terrible card, but it's really not a great one. I don't think either right, left, or through the centre would be particularly brilliant. I think on the left would be where it'd be best, and he could be all right as an option, maybe as a super sub. But on the whole, it's not a brilliant card, really. And next we have Caio Henrique. So I used to sign this guy in Master League back in the day when he was a youngster. He's had a pace scan since then. Don't think it's been updated. Still decent though. We've got an attacking fullback, left back. That's his usual playing style and position. Weaker for accuracy is up by 1 again. Unwavering form, that's good. We've had a couple of versions of this guy, both in, I think, Legend boxes or Showtime boxes, both around the same level overall as this one. I would say, if anything, those 2 previous versions are slightly better than this one on the whole, and trainable, of course. Although this one does have interception and blocker, that's a big addition. Albeit you could put those skills on the previous versions if you wanted to. On the whole, not a massive difference between those two previous versions and this one. Compared to his GP card, we've lost 1 point of speed on auto allocation. They've taken a few points off his stamina. A nice boost on his lofted pass and his set pieces. Apart from that, yeah, reasonable boost, I guess. Nothing too exciting here. He's not an amazing left back. His pace is okay. I think most of us would prefer a bit more pace on the fullback, especially attacking fullback. Kicking power's decent. Physical contact and balance are kind of okay. Stamina's alright. We have lost a few points on stamina, but it's still okay. He's still going past 90 with your maximum game plan boost. Defensively, yeah, if you just like your attacking fullbacks is bomb forward, you're not too bothered about being strong defensively, you'd be alright with that. But I think most people would prefer him to be a bit stronger defensively. The tackling is going to creep past 80 with the game plan boost, but that's about it. He's really not too strong defensively. Nice down the left though, on the ball and end product, good for a fullback, and on an attacking fullback especially. So he's got some qualities, this guy, but not brilliant on the whole. Skill wise, we do have interception and blocker. Those have both been added along with, I think, weighted pass. I've already got one touch pass, through passing, pinpoint crossing, low lofted pass. So yeah, when he gets on the ball for a fullback, very good. The 2 defensive skills are good additions, but the defensive attributes are still not brilliant. So yeah, I think most people prefer a little bit more pace and a bit more on the defensives. For that reason, it's not a brilliant card, but certainly on the ball, he's pretty good for fullback. So he's got qualities, this guy. Just depends what you look for from a fullback. No other positions you can play him in, though, unfortunately. So yeah, if you're like a very attacking fullback, you don't mind the fact he's not too great defensively and he's not quite as quick as you probably want a fullback to be. He is good on the ball. He's got very good end product for a fullback. So for some people, it could be a handy one. But again, like I said with a lot of these cards, we don't get a French League change. So you're just looking really at divisions or maybe the national team challenge or whatever. So don't think too many people are going to find him that great of a card, but he does have a great cross on him. Like I said, the end product and on the ball, he's good for a fullback. Elsewhere, he's kind of decent in some areas, but defensively, a bit of a question mark there. So on the whole, yeah, for most people, probably not a brilliant card, but he's got some qualities and some people might quite enjoy him. Next up is Mukiele from Leverkusen. So Mukiele is normally a right back and a defensive fullback. They've shifted him to centre back and destroyer. He's got both those positions regardless. They've just changed his registered position on his playing style. He's got a face scan. We've only had one previous version of Mukiele, a special version. That was a nominating contract one way back now, or possibly match pass. I forget which, but yeah, went to a similar level really. To be honest, certainly as a right back, he went to a similar level. Just kind of shuffled around. Probably better as a centre back than this one though. His GP card not a million miles away as a centre back, to be honest. Stats kind of shuffled around a bit. As a right back, again, roughly the same level really. But I would say certainly defensively, this card as a right back, if you're going to use him as a defensive fullback, even though he doesn't have that playing style, but if that's your style of fullback, I think this is probably better than his GP card on the whole. I mean, it goes without saying really, but I don't think it's that exciting a boost from his GP card really. Just kind of shuffled around a bit. Skill-wise, before we get into the attributes a bit more, we've lost, I think, chop turn, or is that eFootball lying to me? Chop turn, rising shot. We've gained first time shot and blocker. So the only really interesting thing there is blocker, to be honest. It looks like that's new, so that's good. He's very much a defensive player, this guy. He's not going to be much of a fullback getting forward. He's got right midfield, but I don't think anyone's going to play him there. He's horrible on the ball, no end product. But yeah, defensively at least, we've got heading and aerial. If you play him in a fullback, heading and aerial superiority, he's over 6'1", jumping and physical are decent. He's going to be very strong in the air for a fullback. Man marking, interception, blocker, sliding tackle, backness, fighting spirit. That's pretty much a complete set of defensive skills, really. The problem, really, though, is that even though they've changed the centre back, giving him the destroyer playing style, defensive awareness 81 is horrible. Tackling, aggression, defensive engagement, all mid-80s. The defensive attributes are not looking great. Pace is good for a centre back. Jumping and physical are okay. I'd like him to be a bit higher. Stamina's good, but yeah. I don't really want a centre-back who's got one or two okay stats and a bunch of poor ones. This is not a good centre-back card for me. Yes, you've got some qualities, but on the whole, not for me. I would not be putting this guy anywhere near my team as a centre-back. as a right back, I mean, as I say, right midfield's out of the question, but right back, that might be where some people get some value out of this guy. That's where he normally plays. And in a way, it's a shame he's not got his normal defensive fullback playing style. Well, they've obviously given him a build that suits the way he played at the weekend if he was at centre-back. But if you did play him at right-back, and if you like a defensive fullback, and I say defensive because if you want an attacking fullback, look away. This is not your guy. But if you wanted to put this guy at right-back, and if you wanted to maybe put a defensive instruction on him to make sure he doesn't get forward, that kind of a fullback could be useful. The pace isn't quite what you'd probably want it to be, but aerial and physically is pretty strong. The balance isn't too bad for a big physical guy. The stamina's fine. And the defensive attributes are pretty strong for a fullback, and he's definitely got the defensive skills. So if you're like a very defensive fullback, this guy could be a pretty useful one. Not an amazing one, but he could be usable. Again, we don't get a German league challenge or anything like that. You're only going to be able to use this guy in unlimited events or the national team one if you rock a France squad or, of course, divisions. So, yeah, an inconsistent form as well, albeit we're getting live update now for Leverkusen since they're back to being a partner club. So there are some positives with this guy, but there are a few kind of there are some downsides as well. Like I say, limited use for him in terms of events and so on. And I think really right back is the one position where you might get use out of him if you like a very defensive fullback. And if you do like a very defensive fullback, he certainly could be a solid option for you. But beyond that, I don't think it's an amazing card, really. And now we have Désiré Doué from PSG, who has been changed from attacking mid to centre mid. Still got his normal playing style. All they've really done is they've added the centre mid position as fully proficient. They've also made him semi-proficient at defensive midfield, even though you can't position train these cards, which is completely useless. Thanks, Konami. He does have a face scan. And he's one of these cards. We've seen them every now and then in Player of the Week. They put an attacking mid in, they change him to a centre mid. And then they're not quite so good going forward, but they beef up the defences and physicals a bit, give them more of a kind of well-balanced build, which is kind of understandable, but at the same time, probably not what most people want. But that's kind of what you get with this Doué card. We've had a couple of trainable versions of him from Legend boxes or Showtime. The more recent one was slightly better than this one. The older one, not quite so good. Not a massive difference either way between this one and those two. From his GP card, like I say, it's what you'd expect. It's that kind of a build. He's been boosted physically and stuff. We've had a bit of a boost on his bounce as well, his awareness and finishing. But most importantly, or maybe not most importantly, but annoyingly at least, they've nerfed his low pass. It's so annoying. This guy, yes, they've changed him to a centre mid. You could play him as a centre mid, but on a guy who's so attacking. I mean, the defences aren't too terrible, but do you really want this guy as a centre mid when he's clearly best going forward? I think he's much better as an attacking mid. They've nerfing his low pass. Even if you play him as a centre mid, it's the same both ways. You need a mid, centre mid or an attacking mid to be good at passing. And normally he is decent, very decent at passing on his GP card even. But they've nerfed it, so we're now on 83 low pass. Yes, you've got through passing there. We don't have one-touch pass, which is a bit of a miss. So yeah, very annoying they've nerfed his low pass. Like I say, they have boosted him in a bunch of areas. It's just, that is one of the most important attributes on a centre mid or an attacking mid. Those are his two positions, and they've nerfed it. Why? It's just so silly. But like I say, they have boosted him in some areas. They weren't some finishing route. That's good, especially as an attacking mid, as a whole player, getting into good attacking positions. Awareness and finishing both hitting the 80 mark with your game plan boost, so that's good. He's pretty good on the ball. His pace is alright for an attacking mid or a centre mid. A little bit of physical strength about him. Balance is okay. Not a great deal of stamina on him. On a whole player, keep in mind a whole player is going to do a lot of running. He's going to be running forward a lot. He is going to get tired, so keep that in mind. Skill-wise, what they changed. So looks like we've lost Marseille turn again. They keep taking Marseille turn away from attacking players. I'm not much for, I'm not really one for skill moves, but people I know who do like their skill moves, they tend to like Marseille turn. So I imagine a lot of people would be a little bit annoyed by that. But yeah, Marseille turn seems to have gone. Sombrero and Scotch move, I think, are gone as well. But we've gained double touch, so there's some compensation for the skillers. Long range shooting. Rising shot, is that new? Through passing is a new one. Pinpoint crossing. Has he got a good cross on him? Not bad actually. So 84 lofted pass with pinpoint crossing. He's not got much curl, and that can help with crossing, but that's a bit poor. Kicking power's decent though. Yeah, on the whole, he's got a decent cross on him, but can't play out wide though. So I don't know how often he's going to get into a position to put crosses in, but when he does have a decent cross on him. Through passing is a good addition. Long range shooting would be nice if he had a long range curler, but kind of it all, I guess. So he's got a bit of, skill wise, he's got a bit of everything. He's got a bit on the ball, a bit with his shooting, his passing and crossing. But yeah, I think on the whole, that's pretty much the story with this guy. He's got a bit of this, a bit of that, but he just doesn't look that amazing to me. It's a slightly different build to what he normally has, but yeah, I think he's still best as an attacking midfielder. I don't think he's got enough. I mean, defensively, there's nothing really there. Track back, fair enough, but yeah, no real defensive skills. As a centre mid, I think with all the qualities he's got going forward, he's much better. You might as well make him an attacking mid, but as an attacking mid, yes, a bit of pace, decent on the ball, awareness and finishing, but the passing's so important. Yes, he's got through passing, but he's not got one-touch pass, and that low pass being at 83 is not high enough for me. So I think a fair few people could still have some joy with this guy. He looks like he's going to be decent on the ball. He will make some good attacking runs. He can certainly finish, but I don't think it's an amazing card, and that low pass being nerfed as it has done is frustrating for me. Again, we don't get a French League challenge. He's really just going to be for your France squad or for your Divisions or Unlimited squad. Is he good enough to get in any of those squads for you? I'm not sure many people would say yes to that. It could be a decent one. It could be pretty nice on the ball, but on the whole, especially with that passing nerf, it's a bit of a frustrating card for me. It's not a bad one. I just don't think too many people are going to be that excited about it. And now we've got Marc Casadó from Barca, who is an orchestrator this time. So he's normally an anchorman. I can see one previous version of Casadó. I'm not sure what pack that was in. Maybe a Spanish League pack. That was an anchorman, that's his normal playing style. And it was better down the middle. Defensively, stronger, but elsewhere, this one's got the edge over it. This is more of a kind of, again, they've kind of tweaked the build on him. As an anchorman, you'd expect him to be stronger defensively, whereas an orchestrator, you expect him to be a bit better on the ball and stuff. That's exactly what they've done. So yes, they've nerfed him defensively, but it makes sense with the build they're giving him. I'm not going to always complain about the nerfing stats if it does make sense. This time it does make sense. So yeah, he's got a face scan. He got that recently. Standard form, he's on A currently. He has had a pretty good season for Barca, although De Jong seems to have got back into the team at his expense. Yeah, and if you look at his GP card, same kind of story to that previous highlight card that came from whatever pack that was from. They've nerfed him defensively, but the left and right columns, he's had a nice boost. And I think this is a pretty nice conversion of Casadó on the whole as an orchestrator, to be honest. I think the one real criticism you could have is he's not the biggest or strongest physically, but I think you can allow that. You can allow that on an orchestrator. It would be more of a frustration on him as an anchorman like he normally is, but on an orchestrator, I think you can certainly allow that. And outside of that, he looks pretty tidy, to be honest. On the ball, decent passing, nice. He's going to hit 90 with the maximum game plan boost on low pass. We'll check his passing skills in a second. Defensively, yes, they've nerfed that, but he's still in the 80s before you game plan boost all of these. So as an orchestrator, I think he's pretty decent defensively. Pace is all right. Kicking barrel's all right. I'd like a bit more, but it's not the worst. It's not the most important attribute, I guess. Again, like I say, physical strength is a bit on the low side with the way the game is on this version of the game. That's a bit of a weakness. Balance is okay. Stamina's good. That's going over 90. So yeah, on the whole, fairly tidy little orchestrator, this guy. So skill-wise, what have we got skill-wise? It looks like they've added a whole bunch. So as far as I can see, double touch is new. Soul control, nice. First time shot, he scored, I think, at the weekend. Weighted pass, I think, is new. Man marking and blocker. And it looks like, again, I don't fully trust eFootball at the moment, but it looks like they've taken away aerial superiority, which is a bit of a shame. But on a guy as small as him, with not particularly good jumping, I'm not sure you're going to really notice that a great deal. But yeah, blocker looks like it's new. A few others in there as well. So on the whole, soul control is a nice one to have, but then one touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, that's really good with his passing skills, with his passing ability, and then man marking, interception blocker, fighting spirit as well. On the whole, I think it's a really tidy little orchestrator. This, if you like an orchestrator, mainly as a defensive mid, I think as a centre mid, I don't think the attacking awareness is going to be too much of an issue as a centre mid, but it is a bit on the low side. I think it'll still be pretty tidy as a centre mid, but either as a centre mid or a defensive mid. With the attributes this guy's got, he's got a decent defensive ability, he's decent on the ball, he's got nice passing. He should feel pretty nimble as well. I've not used, the only version of Casadó I've used is that position changer one that's a right back. It's hard to really make a comparison, but he does feel alright on the ball. And this one obviously is better, and this is his normal position, of course. So yeah, on the whole, it might not be an amazing card, but I think it's a pretty decent one. And this time we do have a card that can be used in the league challenges for the Spanish league challenge, so it could be a decent option for that. I don't have too many options for my double pivot in the Spanish League Challenge. I've got one or two decent ones, but yeah, I would quite like this guy as an option. I think he's a good one. I think with the playing style, the profile they're giving him, with the balancing of the attributes, the skills as well they're giving him, I think they've made this a very appealing orchestrator. This, like I say, it's not a top level one by any means, but I think it's a very handy one, a very usable one. And if the orchestrator playing style works for you, sitting deep, not making too many attacking runs, just playmaking from deep, I think he could be a very nice card for a lot of people. I quite like the look of this one. It's a neat card, I think. And here's our goalie. We've got Brice Samba. He's got a face scan. He's about 6'1". He's not the biggest goalie, but he's not too small either. And he's pretty good. He's got unwavering form as well. He moved to Rennes quite recently. Awareness, catching, reflexes, reach, all hitting 90 with the game plan boost. The parring's not brilliant, but could be worse. This is a good goalie. Not a lot more to say really. It's the best version of Samba we've had. We've had a couple. We've had one in I think he was in the nominating contract captain's pack, the new captain's pack a while ago. There's one in the France pack which I had, which wasn't brilliant. I released that one, but this is better. This is the best version of Samba we've had. According to eFootball, have a long throw is new, so he got a really good selection of skills there for a goalie. Low punt, long throw, penalty saver, captaincy, fighting spirit. If you like high punt, that's probably the one miss, to be honest. But I don't think too many people would be bothered about that. I think on the whole, got a good set of skills there on him. And to be honest, the jumping isn't bad. The jumping is going to hit 80 with the game plan boost for a player of the week card. That's pretty rare, actually. That's unusual, but yeah. Where it really counts, the most important attributes, 4 of these hitting 90 with the maximum game plan boost. And the parrying isn't too bad. It could be better, but with the other attributes being as high as they are, I think you can allow that. So shame it's only for the, it's from the French league, so you're not going to be able to use many league challenges. But I think for a lot of people's squads in divisions and so on, France squads as well especially, this could be a really decent card to pick up. He looks like a good solid goalkeeper. The only thing that really holds him back from being an amazing one is the fact he's not the biggest. He's not got the coverage of a massive keeper like Milinkovic-Savic last week, for example, or Trubin and so on. But yeah, on the whole, this is a pretty nice looking goal. This I'll be pretty pleased if I get. And I expect a lot of people will be pleased if they get this guy, because Isco is a popular guy on eFootball. He's got a face scan which probably needs updating at this point. It's our first booster in this pack. He's a creative playmaker, as he usually is. We've had a couple of player versions of Isco. Not a massive difference really between this one and the previous ones. This one's got a bit more speed and a bit more stamina. A lot more stamina actually. Nice boost on his stamina. But yeah, on the whole, not a massive difference. The best trainable is not quite as good as this one. They tend to be better on the ball. You kind of expect that on player of the week attacking midfielders. That's what they always do. And obviously the trainables can be trained. But this guy, compared to the best trainables, does have a boost on his pace, kicking power as well, finishing, stamina. Yeah, so this is a good version of Isco. If you take the best trainable version of Isco and you try to kind of match the build, so you take the points away from the on the ball attributes and try and give it more speed and whatever else, there's quite a gap in the overall rating, but a lot of that comes from the physical and defensive attributes being boosted on this one. I don't think the difference is that massive, to be honest. It's just not another one of those ones where they kind of nudge the defensives up on the physical strength and stuff. So, like I always say, not to be too cynical, but I do think they do that just to kind of artificially boost his rating, make him look a bit better than he is. But it is a good version of Isco, very good version, to be honest, on the whole. From his GP card, though, there is one big annoyance, and I've hinted at it already. They have taken a bunch of points away from his on-the-ball attributes. He is still good on the ball. I think that's fine. I think you can get away with it, but 7 points off ball control, I make it. I think 7 off dribbling, 5 or so off tight possession. That's a big nerf to his on the ball attributes. I mean, come on, like why? I mean, on the plus side, when you activate the booster, you get a few of those points back. Yay! But yeah, it's annoying that they would take so many points away from some of the most important attributes. I guess just to make sure he's not too good, because heaven forbid you get too good of a card from player of the week and then you just stop spending money on legend boxes, I guess. But yeah, big nerf on the underball attributes, very, very, very annoying. But even without the boost, you're still hitting 90 on all 3, so I think that's certainly okay. They have boosted him elsewhere. They have boosted him down the right column. Like I said, the speed's up, kicking power, stamina's had a nice boost, finishing, defending, yay. Yeah, on the whole, it's a really good version of Isco. This got an unwavering form as well. Tidy on the ball. The passing's not amazing. I'd like it to be better, but at least when you get the boost, the low pass goes up to 88. So if he's on A form, yeah, with your maximum game plan boost, you're hitting 90 low pass, and he's got through passing and one touch pass. So they added one touch pass. I'm not sure they have actually. It looks like he's already got that. I didn't think he used to have one touch pass, but I might be wrong. What have they added? What a surprise, they've taken away Marseille turn. They don't want any player of the week players to have Marseille turn these days. It looks like acrobatic finishing's gone as well. Bit of a shame. I think we can live without it though. Weighted pass I think is gone. That's annoying. And no look pass. They've added pinpoint crossing, outside curler. That is a good one. Penalty specialist. I don't think anyone really cares about that. Fighting spirit. back to giving fighting spirit to attacking players and player of the week. That's a real flavour of the month with them at the moment. But yeah, mixed bag with the skills. I think it's a shame to lose acrobatic finishing weighted pass. Some of the skillers might be disappointed to lose Marseille Turner as well. I don't think anyone's going to miss a no-look pass. Pinpoint crossing, is he going to be crossing the ball a great deal? I mean, he can play him out wide, but do you want a wing with 74 speed? No. Outside curler is a nice one to have. And like I say, penalty specialist, I don't think anyone's really going to care about that. Fighting spirit can be a handy one to have in general. It's quite handy on any player, to be honest. On a guy who's not the strongest physically, that might help, to be fair. It might be a decent one to have. Even though his weaker foot is quite strong, he doesn't use it very often, so outside curler is a handy one to have. But yeah, most importantly, we've got those passing skills. We've got one-touch passing, through passing. Long-range curler is a handy one as well. So yeah, tidy on the ball. He will have at least decent passing. On A form, he'll have very good passing. Attack awareness is pretty good. Finishing is decent enough. With long-range curler, his long-range curlers will be decent. I don't think many people will play him off the left wing. But certainly even through the middle, long-range curlers, will be useful as an attacking mid. Yeah, like I say, he's not got the pace for me to play wide right or wide left. As a centre mid, I always say on a player who's attacking, like Isco, his abilities are, his main strengths are going forward. You're going to play him as a centre mid, but he can't defend. Of course you're not. I don't see why anyone would do that. You've got to use him where he's best and make the most of his attacking abilities and that creative playmaker playing style at attacking midfield. Yes, he's still slow, but he has had a boost to his speed. Is quicker than he normally is. Obviously, he's in his 30s now. Acceleration's okay though. Kicking power is okay. That's had a bit of a boost. Balance is good as you'd expect. Even though they've nerfed him quite a bit on the ball, he's still good, especially on A form on the ball. And yeah, like I say, the passing, attacking, awareness, finishing, unwavering form. This is a very nice version of Isco. In general, if you like your attacking midfielders to have a bit more speed, obviously he's not going to suit you too well. But if you like Isco, you don't mind the slight lack of speed on a creative playmaker. It's not the most important thing on a playmaker. Yeah, it's a very good card. It's a good version of Isco, especially on A form. Yeah, they've nerfed him on the ball, but I think you can get away with that with the strengths he's got elsewhere. And on the whole, yeah, if you're a fan of Isco especially, and a handy one for the Spanish League Challenge as well, yeah, for a lot of people, could be a very nice card to pick up this. And Kingsley Coman is next. So we've not had a Coman card in a little while. We've had a couple of Player of the Week cards previously. I think maybe it's 3. He's been a prolific winger before, whole player, and creative playmaker. I think I've had at least 2 of those in the past. I've got one version still. To be honest, if you look at all the previous Player of the Week cards, they're all better at passing than this one. They're all a little bit better at dribbling, although this version of him does have a bit more ball control type possession. They've all got right midfield as well as a position. They've taken it away at some point from Coman. On the whole, pretty similar, all the Player of the Week versions of Coman, but I would say, if anything, the previous ones are all slightly better than this one on the whole. So this one initially isn't looking too great to me. You look at the best trainable versions of Coman, around about the same level overall. We've had a legend card of Coman's at one point, which is obviously the best version of him. The trainables around about the same level. So, yeah, comparing to previous versions, this Coman card doesn't look that exciting to me. If you look at his GP card, we've lost a tiny bit of pace and kicking power. Taken 5 points off his dribbling. The rest of his technicals are up a bit though. But the one big change with this guy is he's had a really big boost on his defending. They've put, all his defending attributes are up significantly, but they've increased his tackling by over 20 and they've increased his aggression by about 30. So yeah, and if you look at the skills, they've added track back, interception and fighting spirit. So this is an interesting version of Coman. So if you want your wide forwards to be aggressive and better defensively, then yeah, I guess it could be a good version of Coman for you. On the whole, we do have a good selection skills. You've got long range curler. If you're going to play him on the left as a right footer, that's obviously a very good one to have. And long range shooting. Heel trick's a handy one. They have taken away though flip flap, I think chop turn and dipping shot. So yeah, it's just a question of really what you prioritise in a winger and a wide forward. Because like I say, if you want your wide forwards to have that boost to defensive ability, it is a nice bonus, having track back and interception and fighting spirit. You lose the ball in attacking areas, it does help to win the ball back. It can be very useful. Just I don't know how many people are really looking for that on a Kingsley Coman card, with the attributes they've increased and decreased. Is this the version of Coman for you? For me, no. If I'm brutally honest, he's not as good at passing as my previous version, which is about 2 years old now. And looking at the skills, they've not really had anything I particularly look for on a winger, even though it's a nice bonus to have those skills. And he is a super sub, so I think ultimately, you know, if you've already got a version of Coman, that little boost to his defensive ability might be nice for you. You might think, yeah, that's a cool thing to have as a bonus, the fact that you can kind of track back and do a bit of defending high up the pitch. Maybe that would be good for you. But I think for most people, if you've got a good version of Coman already, you're not going to really need this one. I don't think it's that appealing a version. For me personally, like I say, I've got a previous one, and I don't really need this one because he's not got anything that I need over the one that I've got. But if you look at this card in isolation, you forget the comparison, especially as a super sub. I've used mine mainly as a super sub. He is good. We've still got the pace, good on the ball. Like I say, they have nerfed the dribbling, but compared to previous versions, the ball control and tight possession are better than some previous versions. Awareness and finishing both hitting 80 with the game plan boost. So basically, don't pass the ball because you can't pass to save his life. And if you do pass it, keep it simple. Don't ask too much of him. But yeah, with the pace being pretty good on the ball, awareness and finishing, long range curl, long range shooting, and a super sub, especially in my experience with the pace, you know, how good he tends to feel on the ball and a bit of end product, at least with his shooting, is a tidy card. I think for a lot of people, if you've not got a good version already, it'll be a really handy card to pick up. Again, we don't get a German league change, so you're looking at either a France squad or an unlimited squad, or obviously for divisions. So is he good enough for your squad for those things? I think certainly as a super sub he could be. Like I say, if you don't already have a good version, stick him on your bench. He's a very handy one come off the bench. He really does tend to do some damage for me when I bring him on second half with his pace. But yeah, just comparing it to other versions of him, the way they boosted him, obviously it's based on his performance at the weekend. So if he was better in certain ways, then those are the ways they'll boost him. So I'm not going to criticise them for what they've done with him, but just in terms of what's good about him for on eFootball, I don't think many people are going to want a version of Coman who's been boosted defensively. I don't think it's really what you're going to be looking for, but that's what they've done. If you do like the fact they boosted him in that way with the skills they've given him, it could be a really interesting version of Coman to pick up. And like I say, in isolation, he is a handy one. It's a good card. If you don't have a good version already, stick him on your bench because he's like I say, in my personal experience, he's a very useful winger to have, even if he's starting, although the stamina is low, so he will get tired. But yeah, and he's got a face scan, of course, on A form currently. And yeah, in isolation, good card. Just a very slightly interesting version of Coman, but for a lot of people, it can be a very handy one to pick up for sure. And time for our next booster. We've got Balloon and Nkunku. So, we've got a face scan. Let's activate the booster straight away. And it's a decent version of Nkunku there. So, he's normally attacking mid. They made him a left midfielder. Still gets creative playmaker playing style. We've got a few versions of Nkunku. And the trainables that we've had, they're kind of similar to be honest. Similar level overall, not a massive difference. In some cases, a bit more speed, a bit more finishing on this one. Depends how you train them up though, because he's normally attacking mid. But yeah, overall, trainable versions of Nkunku, they're pretty similar to this one. So if you've got one, you may find you don't really need this one. From his GP card, they boosted the speed, as I mentioned there. Stamina's been boosted as well. Finishing, his physical strength as well, a bit stronger than normal. Yeah, kind of decent boost, decent version of Nkunku. Inconsistent form's a bit of a shame. Obviously on A form this week though. Skill-wise, what they added, it looks like heading, first time shot, and fighting spirit, of course. Yeah, good section of skills on the whole from Nkunku. So long range curler and first time shot. If you are going to play him off the left wing, that's good as a right footer. So have long range curler and first time shot, one touch passing, through passing, help with his passing, of course. Outside curler and heel trick are nice ones to have. Fighting spirit does help, I guess. They keep adding that to attacking players lately. Yeah, on the whole, I think through the middle, again, centre midfielder with his lack of defensive ability, absolutely not. Attacking midfielder or SS as a creative playmaker, I think the low pass for me personally is a bit on the low side. Yes, he's got one touch passing, through passing. For me personally, I think for a lot of people that low pass attribute is a bit low, but there will be a fair few people who think that's okay. If that's okay for you, the low pass attribute, especially with one touch passing, through passing, then for sure you can certainly get away with him as an attacking mid. I think look at his attributes elsewhere. He's nothing really lacking, to be honest, as an attacking mid apart from that low pass. So if the low pass is okay for you as an attacking mid, create a playmaker playing style, could be very nice there. As an SS, the passing is not quite as important. I think as an SS, he could be very handy. He's got good pace, the bounce is okay, he's good on the ball. Even without the A form boost, the awareness and finishing are going to hit 80 with the maximum game plan boost. But with A form, even better. And then the passing, like I say, is not as important, but the finishing and the awareness, yeah. The creative playmaker won't be too aggressive with his forward runs, but I think it'll be pretty handy as an SS with a bit of passing ability, but certainly the pace on the ball and the finishing and everything. I think he'll be pretty handy behind your attack there. But wide left, I think it could be very interesting. Wide left, he's got the pace. He's got really, I mean, certainly an A form. Balance is decent. On the ball, he's good. Awareness and finishing with a long range curler and first time shot. And he can pass the ball a little bit as well. Certainly for a wide man, the passing is decent, especially with one touch passing through passing. So yeah, through the middle, AMF I think is questionable with a low pass. For some people, it could be fine. There's an SS could be pretty handy behind your attack. But certainly wide left, coming off that left flank onto his right foot. Pace, on the ball, awareness and finishing, passing. No real weakness as a left winger for me. He might not be amazing, he might be on the kind of the same level as the kind of, you know, your top kind of legend cards and all that these days, but certainly is a very usable one. Stamina's a bit on the low side. You will get tired. That's one downside, I guess. But apart from that, yeah, handy through the middle. But I think especially from the left wing, coming off the left wing, he's got a bit of everything. He's got the mobility, he's got good on the ball, he's got some end product. Inconsistent form is a bit of a downside as well, I guess, stamina and inconsistent form, but for those two things to be the only downsides really for me, I think that makes it a pretty good card. He's got a lot of qualities. I think a lot of people get some good value out of this guy. English League Challenge as well. You can use him in that. So yeah, a lot to be said for this card. I think it's a very handy card, and a lot of people I think will be very pleased if they get him. And our next booster, we have got Jérémy Doku from Man City. So he's got a face scan and he's got a booster. What does the booster do? It makes him a bit better at attacking awareness, ball control, low pass, and kicking power. So we've had a few versions of Doku. We've had a few player of the week ones. I've got the best one previously. It's a whole player. It's pretty close to this one on the whole, to be honest. But this one, I think, certainly on A form, has the edge over it in terms of end product. It's got that low pass, but also with skills. They've added one touch pass and through passing. They've also gone in pinpoint crossing. Although 71 lofted pass, yeah, his crossing's still going to suck. But certainly with that low pass being increased as it has been increased, it's usually not great at at passing. But with one touch pass and through passing, a bit of a boost on his low pass attribute. That's significant for me. It does give him the edge over any previous player of the week version. But a couple of trainable versions of Doku from sort of Legend or Showtime boxes that are slightly better than this one, to be fair, and they're trainable. So those might have the edge over this one. But this is a very good version of Doku. Like I say, with the fact that he can pass the ball a bit better now, that is a nice change they've made, a nice boost that they've given him. Compared to his GP card, we have lost a few points off acceleration, a couple off balance, but tight possessions had a nice boost. Lofted pass has been boosted, even though it still sucks. Finishing's had a little bit of a boost. His physicals, of course, physical strength, stamina's had a bit of a boost. So yeah, it's a very decent version of Doku. This, if you like your wingers to be able to be better at passing than Doku normally is, then this might be a very appealing card for you. Like I say, with the passing attributes of added, crossing, like I say, is still not going to be good. But certainly one touch pass and through passing, significant additions. It looks like the ones they've taken away to make room are, I think, scissors, feint, and chop turn. But you've still got a few skill moves there. You've got double touch flip, like soul control. So you've got your ball roll, double touch. They've not taken away Marseille turn for once. And yeah, heel trick's a nice one as well. But one touch passing through, improving his passing. His finishing's not too bad, but be careful not to ask too much with his finishing. And there's not much curl with him. And no long range curler, so that's a bit of a shame for a kind of right foot winger playing off the left wing. He can't cross it from the right either, so he's still not perfect. There's still one or two slight concerns with this guy, but certainly what he's best at, getting him on the ball with the pace, the balance, the trickery. He's got a bit of physical strength as well, which helps these days. The attacking awareness, yeah, he might be a bit lacking with his finishing, but the passing's been improved, and he's got the strength he normally does. Even if they've taken a bunch of points off his acceleration, he's still rapid. He's going to feel nice on the ball, and yeah, it's a good version of Doku. This, if you're one of the kind of player who likes a quick, nimble winger to get on the ball and dribble and do skill moves, it could be a really fun card to pick up. It's one of the better versions of Doku. It's not the best one, but certainly boosting his passing as they have with the skills, especially when he's in A form. I think it's a good version of him. And if you don't have a better version of Doku, this could be a very nice one to pick up if he's your kind of player. Could be a lot of fun to use. And now we've got pretty much the opposite of Doku. So you've got a big, physical, heavy guy who's not great on the ball, but they have made him better on the ball, to be fair. So this is the best player of the week version we've had of Dovbyk. Had a couple of previous ones. This is the best one so far in terms of player of the week cards. In terms of trainable versions, the new transfers version when he joined Roma was slightly better than this one, but not a massive difference, to be fair. And there's one in, I think it was a nominate contract one, or maybe match pass. I think it was Earth Movers, the one with the kind of orange kind of flame background. This one's a bit better than that one. Not a massive difference, but it is a bit better in a bunch of areas and on the whole. But like I say, what they've done compared to his GP card with Dovbyk, they've made him a bit better on the ball and with his passing. That is a nice area to boost this guy, because he does tend to be a bit awkward on the ball. Still not got great balance, but yeah, he's going to be better on the ball than he normally is. And he's got good awareness still. Finishing just one shy of being able to hit 90 with your maximum game plan boost. Likewise, kicking power, a bit of a shame, but still the finishing is decent. It's going to be decent in the air, not amazing. Heading 81, jumping 79. He's 6 foot. He's almost 6'3". He does have aerial superiority, so he's not going to be bad in the air, but he's not got the greatest vertical reach on him. But certainly, if you're putting a lot of crosses in, he will get in the end of some of them. He will be decent in the air. Reasonable pace. For a goal poacher, I'd want a bit more pace, but he's one of these players who's slightly unusual, because goal poachers generally want to be quick and nimble, getting behind the finish, whereas this guy, he's one of these poachers who's a bit more kind of big and physical and kind of decent for crosses, but he does still have a bit of pace about him. He is a bit better on the ball, so he's kind of got a bit of everything. He does lack a little bit of mobility. He's not the most nimble, obviously, the balance, and even though they boost him on the ball, he's not amazing on the ball. But with a bit of pace, obviously the physicality, the strength, and skill-wise, as I say, he's decent in the air, heading, acrobatic finishing, aerial superiority. If you put a lot of crosses in, you might have some joy with this guy. They made him a super sub as well. Could be a very interesting super sub to throw on with a bit of everything. Putting crosses in, playing him in behind as well. Could be a handy super sub. What else they added? They've added one touch pass, that helps, as well as boosting his low pass attribute. That's good. Long range curler is new as well, I think. Interesting. So yeah, it's looking like a good version of Dovbyk actually. What they're taking away, I think scissors feint. Has anyone ever done a scissors feint with Dovbyk? I doubt it. And I think penalty specialist as well has gone. So yeah, I think that's a good trade. Long range curler, good addition. One touch pass, helpful as well. And obviously as a super sub. So we've got a very good selection of skills here on a centre forward. Goal poacher, you've got the heading, acrobatic and aerial. Got your first time shot, long range curler, one touch pass helps. Outside curler helps. And he's a super sub as well. Again, outside curler, he doesn't use his weaker foot very often, so outside curler is a helpful one. He's already got that though, but yeah, it's good to have it. It's got a very good selection of skills, unwavering form. Don't know about that. I've not been that impressed by him at Roma, to be honest, this season. He's obviously got a few goals and stuff, but I don't think they played that well with him in the team personally. But yeah, either way, this is a good card though. It's a good version of Dovbyk. Before I forget, he does have a face scan. And yeah, boosting him a bit on the wall and with his passing helps, because he did need a bit of a boost there. He's got good awareness. His finishing could be slightly higher, but it's decent enough. Got a bit of kicking power about him as well. A little bit of pace about him. And like I say, he's not going to be absolutely dominant in the air, but he's certainly going to be decent. He's got physical strength and aerial superiority and stuff. So yeah, unwavering form. As a super sub, especially if he's your kind of striker, it could be very useful. But like I say, if you like a kind of small, pacey, nimble goal poacher, probably doesn't quite have the profile for you. But if you do put crosses in, or if you just in general like a big physical centre forward, and he's got a little bit of pace as well to help to go with that poacher playing style, I think for a lot of people it could be a very handy one. Italian League Challenge could be a good option for that. So yeah, it might not be the profile for everyone, but it's a good version of Dovbyk. I think for quite a few people, if you do get this guy, it could be a handy striker to have in your squad. So there is your Player of the Week selection for this week. I think it's a decent one, to be honest. I think some of the cards in there aren't too amazing. I think Casadó is a pretty nice one. I think Samba's looks like a pretty good goalkeeper. Isco, I think, is going to be a very good card for a lot of people. Coman, not sure they've quite boosted him in the way that most people would have wanted, but certainly if you don't have a good version of Coman already, it could be a very good card to pick up. He's been very handy for me. And Nkunku's a good one. Doku's a good one. Dovbyk for quite a few people could be a good one. Yeah, there's some decent cards in there. Not an amazing selection, but certainly better than some selections that we've had in recent months. So yeah, on the whole, pretty good selection. So there you go. There are a bunch of videos I'm going to be making in the coming days into pack, then the contract selection thingy with the Arsenal Man U players. So yeah, at least one more video today, hopefully, and then over the coming days there'll be a few more as well. So keep your eyes on the channel for that. I may well do a stream on Monday as well. Quite tempted to throw a few coins at maybe try and get Rivaldo on Monday. Maybe, possibly, not sure. But yeah, more videos coming, maybe a stream as well. So keep your eyes on the channel. Thank you for watching as always. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think of the pack. Let me know who you spun. And yeah, thanks again for watching. And I'll be seeing you soon. Take it easy.